Tranquility Base here. The Eagle has landed.
Welcome to Storming the Field, the podcast that explores the exciting intersection of sports, gambling, fantasy football, maybe some music, and at the end of the day, just about anything I want to talk about. I'm your host, Bryan Allen, also known as Storm. You never know what we're going to get into on our podcast. Maybe a top 10 list, maybe the week's fantasy football rankings. Who knows? Maybe we'll have a guest, or maybe it will just be me. We're just going to do what we do. So I hope you'll join us on this exciting adventure. This is Storming the Field, and we're ready to take on anything that comes our way.
The storm is heading your way.
All right, thank you, and welcome back. I'm Bryan Allen. I'm your host. This is Storming the Field. We're going to drop a really quick episode today. Got a lot of feedback on the James Bond countdown, and everyone's excited to hear what those top 10 movies are. So we're going to get to that. On the last podcast, we actually dropped it on Father's Day, and I was remiss, and I did not wish everybody out there a happy Father's Day. So happy Father's Day, even though it's a few days late, to all my peeps out there. You guys, the ones I know who are listening, you're great dads. You do great things to raise great kids, and we certainly all appreciate that and everything that you do. So I hope you had a great Father's Day, and many more to come for sure. So once we get into our program today, we're going to look at James Bond and real quick and have a few parting thoughts. So stick around.
Attention high school sports fans, are you an armchair official? You know, the parent or fan who constantly yells at the referees and loves to let everyone know just how bad you think they are. Well, if you think you could do better, then get in the game and prove it. It's time for you to suit up and make the calls where they actually count. Every sport in Texas needs more officials. Sign up today at highschoolofficials.com.
All right, welcome back to Storming the Field. I'm Bryan, your host. Hey, last episode we got into James Bond movies, and we counted down, according to Rotten Tomatoes, I guess the worst of James Bond movies, even though I don't know that even exists. But we counted down from number 27 to number 11, so we're going to get into the top 10 list here. Top 10 movies according to Rotten Tomatoes. Top 10 James Bond movies, according to Rotten Tomatoes. So coming in with a score of 80%, 1995 GoldenEye. Pierce Brosnan, pretty good movie. This is a Russian spy satellite weapon type of a thing. And he had to go take care of it and knock it down and do the spy thing against the Russians in GoldenEye. So, hey, great movie, worthy of a top 10 for sure. Number 9, 1969, with a score of 81%. Hey, George Lazenby, certainly one of the Bond characters that we kind of forget, but he was a Bond in only one film, and it was On Her Majesty's Secret Service, coming in at number 9. You know, when I think about this, the thing I think about is, hey, Telly Savalas was Blofeld in this movie, and man, what a great Blofeld he was. I mean, that's the thing I think about when I think about On Her Majesty's Secret Service. So probably not one I'd watch over and over and over, but every now and then, hey, if it's on TV or whatnot, I'll check it out. Pretty good movie. Number 8, I don't know, probably one of my top 2 favorite Bond movies of all time, The Spy Who Loved Me from 1977. Again, what I remember about The Spy Who Loved Me is the Bond car, you know, that can become a submarine, and then the bad guy, Jaws, you know, that had the metal teeth and was this big hulking guy. I think his name was Richard Kiel, I think was his name. But he actually portrayed Jaws in a few different Bond movies. But Spy Who Loved Me is a classic, one of my favorites. Number 7, one of the newest Bond films, and it was Daniel Craig's Bon Voyage, No Time to Die from 2021. I talked last week about Daniel Craig and being one of my favorite Bond characters just because of his grittiness, but then also the way that all the movies kind of tie together and tie into each other. Man, that's a great movie. I almost want to say that Daniel Craig's Bond flicks need to be its own franchise, because I mean they are really, really good. Enjoyed them a lot. Number 6 is a movie that I don't know. Maybe I need to go back and watch it again. I don't know why it's in the top 10. 1965's Thunderball. It just kind of fell flat for me. I don't remember it. I don't. Nothing from that is real memorable to me. Even as I'm reading about it and looking back on it, I mean, I know I've seen it. I know I own it on the DVD. So maybe I just need to break it out and watch it again. But number 6, I don't know, maybe a little high for me. Number 5, hey, Daniel Craig, 92% on the Rotten Tomatoes score. Skyfall. Again, I feel like I keep saying the same thing over and over with the Daniel Craig movies, but hey, they are all very solid and deserve high rankings in my opinion. And that's going to lead us into another one, number 4, Casino Royale. Now we saw the original Casino Royale at number 27 from 1965. This is the 2006 version with Daniel Craig, and hey, I mean, very, very cool. He has to enter this poker game and to take down the bad guy, and yeah, great movie, great flick. Getting into the top 3 now. Number 3 from 1962, Dr. No, 95% on the Rotten Tomatoes score. One of the very first real James Bond movies to be released. Sean Connery's very first role as James Bond, and I mean it's pretty good. These are these top 3 are the ones that kind of launched this franchise into greatness, I say, and Dr. No, certainly one of the better Bond flicks out there. Number 2, From Russia with Love from 1963. It seemed like when I was younger, I mean, this movie was always on HBO, and it was always on the HBO guide on the cover, that you got every month, that you could see what movies were playing. And From Russia with Love was always on. Sean Connery flick, again, just a solid Cold War, spy versus spy, Russia versus U.S. versus Britain, and of course, Russia was always kind of teamed up with Spectre, and the USA was always with Britain, and I mean, just your classic good guys versus bad guys movie, and it was a great one. But hey, we get to number 1, and I don't think there's any disputing what the number 1 James Bond movie is. 1964's Goldfinger. Man, this is the top of the mountain. Sean Connery playing James Bond against Art Goldfinger, and when you crossed Art Goldfinger, he painted you gold and killed you and painted you gold, and I mean, what a cooler way to die. I mean, I don't know. I mean, that was just scary and vicious and cool all at the same time. But man, Goldfinger was one of my favorites, and always will be. I mean, if it is on, I'm watching it. If I'm picking out a DVD, there's a good chance that I'm gonna watch Goldfinger, out of our collection. But don't do that much anymore. But when I do, when I want to, hey, Goldfinger is a classic that I will watch over and over and over. So that's it. The top 27, or the 27 Bond movies ranked from 27 to 1. Pretty good list. Like I say, there's some that I would move around, but hey, you get into the top 3 or the top 5, and it's a pretty solid list. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed that, and we're going to take a quick break, and we'll be right back.
Texas, where our pride, strength, and unity keep our spirits high as we march forward. Showing our pride by saying don't mess with Texas means we all got to step up. Walk the walk, do our part to keep Texas clean and safe. Because after all these years, all these miles, all these traditions, for all of us Texans, including me, Matthew McConaughey, don't mess with Texas means don't litter.
That's right. Hey, I'm Bryan Allen, Storm in the Field, your host. Hope you enjoyed today's podcast. We're going to go ahead and wrap it up. We just wanted to get those top 10 James Bond flicks out to you, so everybody was chomping at the bit to know what that number one flick was, and I don't think anybody's surprised there. But I hope you enjoyed that little segment over a couple of episodes. We look forward to doing some more of those. And, hey, if you've got an idea for the show, be sure and let us know. You can follow us on Twitter at BA Storm. You can also follow the show itself, Storm and Podcast. All that information is in the description. So follow us and give us some feedback. And, hey, share with your friends. Let's get the word out on this thing and kind of increase our reach a little bit. So, like I said, I hope you have enjoyed the show today. And until next time, keep being good to others and take care of yourself, and we will see you soon. You've been listening to Storm in the Field. If you've enjoyed your time here with us today, you might consider subscribing to the podcast and leaving us a review. You can also follow us on Twitter. The links are found in the description. I'd love to interact with you and get your feedback. Until next time, keep storming the field.